Hi there, I'm Peter Day, President of the Nova Scotia Teachers Union, and with me is Mark LaVenture, our Communications and Public Affairs Officer.
Hey Peter, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do a little podcast here. Nothing too crazy. Just with the recent loss of different media news outlets in the local area, such as News Radio, the Halifax Global show with the morning show with Paul Brothers. You know, we've seen a loss of that, which is pretty unfortunate to have that local voice.
Yeah, and it's not just local media. Also on social media, it's becoming harder and harder to find local voices and local news stories. Apologize for all the glare here today. I know there's a lot. We're hoping to make this a safe and inclusive space so many different perspectives can be presented about public education in our province.
Yeah, so this is our first time trying to do a podcast. Hopefully if this works out well and it's received well, we'll do many other ones where we'll try to have different viewpoints with a variety of lenses, with hopefully some special guests that can come in and have a conversation about all things related to public education.
Yeah, and if you're watching this means the podcast is aired. This may just live in a vault someday. It may be the year 2065 and someone's pulled this out. But we're filming this in late August. Hope everyone's had a good summer so far, but we're getting ready for back to school. Do you have any back to school traditions when you were a teacher or maybe when you were a kid?
As a student?
Yeah.
Getting that new pair of sneakers. Definitely. Yeah. Every August, the end of summer, getting that new pair of sneakers. In fact, I think that's a tradition I should start again.
Yeah, what are you thinking of getting?
Maybe a pair of Air Jordans.
Maybe. Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And what about as a teacher?
Oh, as a teacher, making sure that the classroom was ready to go. You know, you wanted to have that classroom where it was welcoming to students, that students felt that they had a place where they'd be welcome, that they're a part of that classroom community. You know, just having that ready to go. And of course, it takes a lot of pressure off. Because the other tradition, I don't think crying counts, does it?
No, probably not. No.
Yeah. What about you as a parent? Any tradition?
There's started the chaos, but I think there's probably some chaos regardless of the season. The big tradition now is kind of the before and after photos you see. So first day of school, you take the photo on the steps. I got a 14-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, so we'll stand them on the steps and take a picture, and then at the end of the year we'll take another picture and see who's grown the most. And then you show the before and after. I think that's pretty standard. You'll see a lot of that on Facebook.
Yeah, on the social media.
Yeah, you've probably seen a lot the last few days.
Yeah.
So,
we're just, again, we're going to try this out. And this is for not just teachers. This is for anyone who has any interest in public education. So that's parents and students, community members are welcome to watch this and maybe even join in with some questions and comments.
So as we're talking back to school, new school year, every year that we hear a lot, we get a lot of questions about what we can expect. What are you expecting to see this year in terms of our classrooms? What can parents and teachers expect heading back to school?
Well, one of the things that I am excited for this year is the school lunch program, which is now from P to 12. And I think that's really important. That's one less thing that parents have to worry about, whether it's making the lunch the night before or the morning of, but students having access to nutritious meals is very important for the learning process. So I'm excited about that. There are some concerns that we're hearing from teachers. Some of you may be familiar with the budget that went through in the spring, where there was some cuts to fine arts programs. Yep. Now, while they're not directly related, they are going to have an effect on some of the classroom programs that are offered in our schools. And that's really unfortunate. I think that's going to have a negative impact. Along with that, we actually saw the loss of over 80 specialist teacher positions, which I think is really going to have a negative impact. These are teaching positions where, specialists, whether they're literacy coaches, math coaches, behavioral support, those types of positions where these teachers, they're not traditional classroom teaching positions. However, they work with small groups of students, maybe individual one-on-one, and help students who have maybe some gaps in their understanding to close those gaps. And I think we're really going to feel the loss of that, especially at a time where, we should be getting more resources for our students. And unfortunately, we now have less.
And the employer has kind of described this as, oh, don't worry, that these teaching positions will be absorbed back in. No one's losing their jobs. But that's not necessarily true, correct? This is a loss of positions in the system.
Yeah. Any way you look at this, there are going to be 80 less teaching positions because of these cuts. Now, the teachers who lost these positions do have classroom positions that they're going back to. However, that is a loss for term teachers or newer teachers who now have less jobs to vie for.
And another issue we've discussed a lot in recent years, unfortunately, and you've discussed recently in a media interview, is of course school violence, which continues to be a problem in our schools. And we've seen it actually in some ways increase in severity and in terms of numbers. The government announced the code of conduct. Are you content? Are you confident that that's going to have a positive impact this year? I know last year was the first year for it. What do you expect when it comes to the code of conduct?
So the code of conduct was introduced last September, and it was in place for the full school year. When it was initially brought in, we did hear some positive feedback from our schools that this was having a positive effect on the school environment. But the reality is it wasn't uniform right across the province. And unfortunately, there's some concerns there of how it's being implemented, what are the expectations, and are they being followed by students and everyone in the school community. And I think the reality is throughout that document, you see mentioning of supports for students, supports for the classroom. However, we haven't really seen those supports, what they are and how they're working. So I would be hopeful that the employer, that the government is going to take this a little bit more seriously, and that students know that teachers have the support of the administration in the office, and that teachers know that the administration in the office have the support of the regional centers.
And while we're talking back to school, the legislature, provincial legislature, is set to resume on September 8th. It's early this year. A lot going on in the world right now, but I mean, hopefully we see these issues discussed during question period, during debate. And if members want to get in touch with their MLA and make sure that public education is on the agenda, what should they do, Peter?
So anyone who wants to reach out to their MLA, we actually have a website, actforeducation.ca. If you go there,
put it on the screen here right now. Yeah, it'll
be right there.
Right there. Yeah.
We hope with the magic of technology. But yeah, you can go there. If you put in your postal code, it will connect you directly with your MLA's email. There is a form email there that's already ready to go. Change it, edit it how you wish to make it more personal, and you can give your thoughts on public education and what your concerns are, what you feel is missing, or what the government should be doing more to invest in our public education system.
Yeah, obviously engagement is very important when it comes to our elected officials. They need to know that people are concerned and that they have ideas and hopefully act upon that. So this is kind of our first run through. I think we're kind of at the end of our checklist, Peter. Is there anything, people may have some ideas. I mean, they might have some strong ideas after watching this. If they want to get in touch, they have ideas, they should send you an email. Would that be the best
Absolutely.
thing to do?
And you can reach me at president@nstu.ca. Always happy to hear from teachers, from parents, community members who have a vested interest in public education.
Great. And so I think that's it. Do you have anything you want to add?
Well, one thing, I don't know if you're aware, but Nova Scotia doesn't have a kidney bank.
No. I wasn't aware of that, no.
It does have a liver pool.
All right, well.
Thanks so much, and hopefully this is the first of many more.
Yes, yes. Have a great day, everyone.